Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for Thursday, October the 21st. And I want to start with the S&P because it's really quite high here compared to the previous high here. So it's looking very bullish. The FTSE has also taken out the top here for its indice. However, it's still possible for it to fail right here because we've got, well, let's just go to the hourly chart here. Because I just think there's a relation, there's a global sort of relationship between everything. So from the low here, we can count 1, 2, 1, 2, and then up for wave 3 here. We've got 5 waves in this move here. But really, it also could be counted as an ABC for the A wave, the B wave, and a C wave right to that point. So there is a very slim chance that the whole thing can fail from here. So we need to be monitoring this over the next few days. But once we get past that, then we can confirm that we're bullish at that point. You understand? So we can just sort of relate that to the Australian market a little bit. In its move up here, we've got this first wave with maybe an A wave and a B wave, and then some sort of C wave coming up here or some other sort of count. So if the US is going to fail, then this could fail at this point as well. I don't think it's the case. It's not my bias, but we need to be mindful of that. It's not my bias because I'm seeing CBA push higher as well, and will be triggering long trades today or tomorrow. So this is our 50-60% retracement level. So there's a reasonable chance that it could fail here. Will it fail? I don't know. I can just track the count and the evidence and so on. But the bias does appear to be to the upside. So I have to say that, I have to give that sort of warning there. There are different ways to count this off the low here as well. So that is the low. We can count this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. It's sort of fitting enough for a wave 1. So we've got to look at that. We could also, and this would be the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave here. We could also put wave 1 over here as well, and have this as an A and a B and a C for wave 2 here for that point. Is it possible to put wave 4 over to this low here? I mean, these are the sorts of things I'm thinking about, Yeah, so let's just go to the hourly chart here and look at a few things. So if we do it that way, we look at wave 4 here and 1 here, and ABC for 2 here and 1 here, and ABC for 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here. Then we can look at this, cruising along to the upside here. Our aim really was to, because we didn't fail here, we got above the 73, which is group 1. That was our first step. So we've got our first long trade. We've got that to break even, say. This move up through here, it's a little bit tricky to count, but I think that we can go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. This fifth wave may be just here. So what may happen today is, we couldn't, well, see, the trouble is from this low here, I can go 1 and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and then all the way up for 5 here, or I can go 1 here and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and then 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then sort of push up here higher for this move and then eventually come back and move up from that point. So I'm a little bit sort of unsure, but I think that in this case less is more. And that would mean that just stay in the trend, don't overtrade to be flicked out. If you're in some ETFs or whatever, then that's fine. But if you've got leverage, then just keep it small and plod along with it. We're in the right direction. You don't want to get stopped out by having to get out because you're overtraded or whatever. So yeah, less is more in all of this. The other sort of good point that I like about this continuing to move up here is because of the banks. So we're just going to have a look at the banks now. So CBA, it's a little bit sort of hard to hear, but let's just see there. So basically, the truth of the matter is that I'm unsure about all of this top and the best way to count it. But I've worked my way through it a little bit. So we know that this top here, just above the 105, that's above the 61.8%. So if that's breached, we can go long from that point. Then we know that this move here from 1 to 2 here is corrective. So that means that we should take that top out, but we can't confirm that we'll take the top out because we don't know that's corrective as an ABC pattern. It will only be confirmed as an ABC pattern when that top gets taken out. So that's why we may as well go long there, which is 105.21. So you set your order at that, and that will trigger in the long trade. To support this though is the volume. So we've got increasing volume to the upside, and through the correction here we've got diminishing volume. So all corrections are on lower volume, and we're seeing that lower volume. We've seen a bit of increase in volume yesterday, which is good. So it's likely today that will be triggered here. So we may even see something like this, a move up to the old high here, and then we'll pull back 50 or 60% and then move up. So it may get a bit rough around the top here. So once again, don't overtrade. We can build in over here on this side, because if this is correct at this point, then if going to go to here, let me just clean this up a little bit. So if we look at, I mean, this can also be counted as 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here as well. So that's something we can come back to later. But apart from that, from wave 2 here going all the way up to wave 3 here, we've got 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third wave. So in one way or another, I'm looking at this as the fourth wave here. I just don't know the best way to count it. That's the truth of the matter. And it hasn't really, I mean, it's been sort of, it's just one of those sorts of things, but it doesn't take me long to, even if I don't know something, I'll always find an answer a little bit further along. And as you know, over the last week or so, the answer's been on that top and looking for this to be a corrective pullback, and we look for the ABC and the 61.8% and all of that. And now we're starting to see impulse waves to the upside. So it's highly likely that we're going to be taking that top out. So long, if we go long in banks, that means we can go long on the ASX200. It's as simple as that. And with ANZ, it's a little offshoot there. So we've got a long trade triggered in this already. I may need to put this as a different wave 4. Once again, across here can be counted differently as well. If you've got a different count, it doesn't mean that I'm right and that you're wrong. I'm quite good at looking for little trade setups on the levels and those sorts of things and get that sort of whole thing moving. So yeah, I'm not totally useless, I guess, but yeah, it's just a little bit unfortunate that I don't have the answers. If the CBA count is right, then I'll need to change this count here as well. But still, we can look at this as a wave 4 of 1 degree or another. It doesn't really matter at this point, just about making money. So, yeah, I mean, the interesting thing about all of this with CBA in the bigger picture, though, is that this consolidation through here will be fantastic support later on. So if this comes back down here, you know how you have the classic trading levels patterns, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, then the correction. But there's going to be so much support here, it's just not going to be a big deal at this point. And sometimes if you get a lot of accumulation under the level like this here, then sometimes it doesn't really pull back down here. It doesn't need to, because it's already accumulated this here. It's done the job that we wanted this to do, this ABC pattern. I mean, the ABC pattern's more, it's a lot more than accumulation, of course. There's a lot of other things that are going on in all, especially in the first leg. It's a different sort of kettle of fish. But so this could just sort of continue to kind of cruise up here, through all this group 1, and I think that might be the case. So just be mindful of that. So I will try to pitch more of we'll keep an eye on it, but more of a general trend straight up from this point. But I don't see anything wrong with bank trades at the moment. I think it's banks. But I think we might even see the commodities move along as well. We'll get to those in a second. We just want to have a look at China. I've got China here. I mean, obviously this is not the the Shanghai comp or anything, and we can look at that in a moment. But this is the A50 here, which is dominated by all the big stocks that the CCP put back in line, so to speak. An A and a B and a C here, and 1 and 2. And so I'm trying to build a case here for this. It's looking okay, but even when if I call that 1 and that 2, and this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and let's just say that we do push up here, that wave 1 could be a C wave as an A and a B and a C for a wave 4, and then fold down at that point. If I look at the this is the so the A shares, the comps, but this is the comp, Shanghai comp. So it's much the same. I mean, the thing here, just in the bigger picture here, just to let you know that obviously this is a correction. So we could look at that as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. So that may be the end of it, or it could just be the A wave here, and we come up for a B wave, and we go down for a C wave. So all of that's valid as well. But I must say that this move here is impulsive. This is corrective, and then all of this is the same leg to that point. Once that top there is taken out, right, then we're bullish from that point. Because this could be, look, if this was an A, B, C for the A wave here, and then an A and a B and a C for the B wave here, pulling back up 50% or whatever, then that's in 3 waves. That, any move above that is probably, it's not quite there. That's still the high here, just by the by. Just if you're looking at that. So yeah, so this move here of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, but then we've got this as an A and a B and a C wave here. So, and then it is corrective because we've taken out that top there. So this is bullish. This market's bullish. I haven't figured out if we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, blah, 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 or we're going to come back down here first, or for like an A wave and a B wave and a C wave. But even if we do that, it's still bullish because of those 3 waves there. So China, the Shanghai and the Shenzhen are all positive to the upside. So yeah, will this recover? Has this beating been enough? Is this going to sort of recover back on track now? Who knows? We'll see. I don't know the story. I don't know the fundamentals. Nothing wrong with fundamentals, by the way. More information the better. Let's be practical about it. No point in joining sides. No benefit in being negative. India. Yeah, so India's trending up, just correcting a little bit. So let's have a look at the Nifty. Nifty. Where is it? India, staring right in front of me. Okay, so we're looking for more upside here. So we're looking for this here. So I'm just assuming this is 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 here, and then 5 going up for wave 3 here. Then we'll have wave 4. I'll put wave 3 up there, give it a bit of space. Put wave 4 there, wave 5 over here. Just keep shaping these up here. But this is trending much higher as well. So we can just put that there. If you wanted to go long, just go long just above the 18,500, above that daily bar there, and that will put you into that. It will put you into that pathway of that wave 3. But then you'll have to cop that coming back as well, and you've got to go through a few corrections to make the money, And it's good having the corrections behind you because they've built bases and supports. And let's move on. So that's that. Let's have a look at the commodities. So let's start with the first one, which is iron ore. So it was up 2%. So this is very much a bit like the A50 in a way. I know the move down here is corrective because of the first wave here. That was in 3 waves. It was very clear to me that that was in 3 waves. So I know that this is bullish corrective. No matter how far it comes down, what it does, it's corrective. I don't know if that's wave 1. It doesn't count very well as a wave 1 here, but in the bigger picture it looks sort of okay. If I go to the tick chart, I've got it counted as a corrective rally. So all I can say is I'm pretty unsure about all of this at the moment. I've put the wave 4 here, but I just don't get 5 waves up here. So maybe I've got something a little bit different. I could I could count 5 waves out of it. That's not an issue, I don't think. 1 and 2 and yeah. Well, I have to readjust everything, so that would be 1 and 2 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, 4th wave, and 5th wave there. So I can do it. It's not a biggie, but yeah, you know, I just sort of like just be a bit careful. And this also looks impulsive to the downside as well as wave 1, 2, wave 3, 4. And 5 down here. I can't really put weight. It doesn't finish off that well, but 1 ABC for 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. So there's a good case. I can get a corrective pattern out of that too, but it just suits better. So what I'm going to do is nothing. As when we came into this low here, I knew there would be a rally. Well, I figured there would be a rally based on the 61.8% and having the 5 waves down to that point and yada, yada, yada. So we have given a little bit of an impulse wave here, as I've mentioned earlier. And now we've also, so that's one positive. So that means we'll be going higher. And yes, we did spike higher here, but I'm not that interested in spikes. So we have also snaked along the 700 and found the 700 as support. And we've also found this is an impulse wave to the upside. I haven't looked at that there, but I can see that I'll need to scratch my head a bit. But the 750 here is the 61.8%. If we get support on top of that, then we're bullish. It's as simple as that. So we either go to here and fail, or we go to here and we get some sort of support here, and then we can turn bullish on iron ore. That's about the best I can do. I mean, it's not like I've got a beautiful 5-wave structure to this point. Do you know what I mean? And I don't have a nice ABC pattern here as well. So I've got very little to work with. I've only got hope actually on this one here from this low here. So let's see. But my next step in calling this bullish will be the 750 there. If this low is breached here, if the market moves back under the 700. Well, it's all over, Red Rover, you know. I mean, it's not totally over, it's not the end of the world or anything, but, you know, we will be making a new low, and we'll need to look at that as wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and go down to the next thing, and then look at that and work that from the upside. That's all I can say. Okay, so that's that. The next one is it's iron ore. Just go to gold because it's on the list, nothing special. Okay, so as you know, here, this is also given a really sort of dodgy bullish count that could be better off counted as corrective and bearish, you know. So this move from this wave B that I've been looking at here, I've been looking for 5 waves to take me up to wave C, and it just really hasn't presented itself. But I can see the bearish count. I can see that we could look at this here as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, and then down for 1, and then an A and a B and a C back for 2 here, and then move on down from that point, right from where we are now. So if you're long in gold, that's where the stop loss has got to go, under that low. I know that we've got a position here, so that's where the stop loss has got to go. And it's also at that point that you'll need to turn short as well. So I'll do the gold video today, and well, it's not really much point doing the gold video. I think I can just I mean, the bearish, I mean, anyway, for the bullish count here, I'm kind of a little bit hopeful for the bullish count in that I can see that we could look at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, and that's the top, and we come down for one and back for two and head on down through here. And like I mentioned, that low there, that's the critical low at that point. And yeah, but at the same time, I mean, I'm looking at things here and I'm thinking, you know, this can also be bullish here. We've got wave 1 here and 2 here, and then a nice third wave up here, fourth wave here, and then we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So we've got 5 waves here, but we haven't taken out the top there. So that means that this is going to be an ABC. Now, that would be the A wave, the B wave, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The 61.8% is going to be deep in support here somewhere, so then we can push up from that point. And if we push up from that point and take this out, then we're basically bullish from that point. And we're above the 61.8%. So there's a good case for being bullish here. But just to let you know that if you've got long trades in, it would be that point there that's the one that you need to watch. Yeah, sure, you could get it closer and all the rest of it, but because when I look at silver here, from the low here, and the low here is probably just worth pointing out again over here. So this is my silver count. I've just got it as an A wave here, and then an A and a B and a C wave down here. I won't go into it, but you know, I called the low in here. We've just sort of watched it do its thing, and there was a couple of steps along the way. The first step was on this low was to find support on top of group 1, the $23 mark here. So we got that. The next trip is the $25, which is the medium level, and this is the really important one because you can see that it's the balance line through the correction here as well. So the $25, it's a medium level, halfway between two major levels. We need that as support, and obviously that's going to take time here, but I have to say this is looking really quite good. So coming back to, was it the 1 hour chart or the tick chart? Yeah, whatever. So that low there, that's the one that we're looking at. It started off nicely here, this B wave spike here that also occurred on the, what's the name? You know, sometimes I just really feel like just, you know, chopping them off and forgetting about them, as I always say, because they just make more confusion than anything else. But still, they're real and they've occurred, so you can't just stick your head in the sand at some point. But yeah, they don't really detract me from the trend and the main traffic and the volume of the trend. So I'm a bit too old and crusty for that to be thrown off track too quickly. So 1 and 2 over here, and then we've just been counting, you know, counting up through here. So this 4 would be 1 and 2 here. Nice strong third wave, fourth wave pulling back 30-40%, and then the fifth wave up there. So probably 1 and 2 in here. I can't see all of that, but there's probably a little bit more to go up here for that. But yeah, looking quite good. I mean, it certainly could be corrective. It could be an A wave and a B wave and a C wave. But this is the structure for the bullish one that I'm working on. And yeah, it's looking okay, but we're not there yet. You know, we don't have the first, this wave 1 here would be the first impulse wave off the low. If we get that here, then, you know, you can get the wheelbarrow and back the truck up and we can start building in over this side, you know. But we've got a little bit of skin in the game now with these little position. Oh, not that one. That's not there. These guys. I don't want to move. I don't want to move that stop there. If you can't take the heat or whatever you want, take some money off the table. But we need to survive this wave 2 over here. That's why we're not going to keep this here. And the idea in the bigger picture, and that's the way you should be thinking. And I know most people just think short term. So yeah, so most people will be thinking about just this number here, the $25 mark. But in the bigger picture, we need to, basically what I try to do is get, this is the level we had to build in on top of the 23 here to make things, you know, secure and, you know, pretty as safe as possible, to get a few positions, some small positions under the 25, and then get some above the 25. I feel that that's a nice balance. It's not the best, but it's it's something, you know, we play for the longer term because we're playing for up, you know, up at the $30 and whatever further, you know, that's what we're playing for here. But to build in, you know, in line with everything, I mean, I think we're doing all the right things at the right time. Of course, there's always room for improvement, as what my wife says and looks at me deeply or straight through me. God bless her. Okay, so silver, crude has got a little bit more of a push up. I'm going to have to rearrange this as well here, because I know when I'm looking at so I'm thinking we just getting a little fifth wave up here. So the length of this move up here probably won't be any longer than the third wave here, put it that way, right? So up to the 8,500 as we talked about yesterday. And just on the daily chart here, I mean, crude is really quite strong here. Don't have to worry about the count here for a moment, but what I want to point out here is that this 1 and 2 here, we haven't had this 3 and 4 yet here. We haven't had that yet. So I can see that we're still heading higher here for all of this. And this will all be adjusted. That'll be up at the 8th thing there. We just haven't had that 4th wave yet, and we haven't had the 5th wave yet. I can see that we're close to the top of the 3rd trend, but we're not there yet for that. This will all have to be redone here as well. But that's okay. We just keep that's okay. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 is okay. But $85 for the top of wave 3. We need a wave 4, and we still need a wave 5. We're in a bullish mode. We're in a bullish trend here. We just it's got more to go. You know, and it's strong because it's hugging the top of the trend line. You know, normally wave 3 here would just in a strong trend, it would actually just come up through here and move through at this point. But hugging the top here was like the S&P 500, wasn't it? Trending up, really hugging that top of that trend line. But this is bullish. This has got more to go. This is, yeah. And that brings us over to, well, I'll go to copper first, and I'll go to gas because it's on this charting program. So this is copper here. Also looking bullish. As you know, I've been flip-flopping around, and I should be smacked around for that. But basically, we've got 3 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here. I'm kind of forced to put that as wave 1 here. Not that I like it that much, but this is such a nice ABC for wave 2 here, and then wave 1 and wave 2 here, and then we're getting this nice 3rd wave here that's not finished yet. Then we'll get the 4th wave, and then the 5th wave will take us even higher up here somewhere. It's possible that we could be looking at a B wave on top of that wave 3 there. But we're way above the 61.8% mark, you know, from the top to the bottom here. And also too is that we've already pulled back to the 38.2% retracement level, and this wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here, it is what it is. And then this one here should be bigger. I always go 60% bigger because I work that way, but it's much bigger than that. So it's really huge. It's already huge at this place. It doesn't need to be doubly huge to come back over here for that. But at the same time, I can't stick my head in the sand. We have to, you know, we have to leave it there until we can acknowledge that we're past it. Let's go to the hourly chart, I think it's here. So yeah, we're counting up here yesterday. So we've got 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 3rd wave. We're looking for the ABC to pull back here. So that's there, that's done. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can just finish that off there and make it nice and clean. That was the 38.2% retracement level for that structure there as well. So we don't need any of that stuff. So we want to take that high out here now. So we're looking for 5 waves above here somewhere. I don't know how high all we can do is count the waves and look at the levels. So that's 300. So after 300 is 500. And then 800 here for that, and the 300 is part of group 1 here. So if I was going long here, I would want support, or that's 103 there, you'd want support on that. But the other way to look at that, if this was going to, no, you still got to be careful. If this was going to be 1 and 2 and 3 here, then wave 4 would be at the 38.2%. It's moved through that, so it could still be down. So the next step to take is looking at the whole total here and saying to yourself, well, all of this could just be the A wave, and then the B wave would be back up at the 61.8% mark here. So that's where it could fail from. You know, I mean, you've got to look at these things. So all of this could be the A wave, that could be that B wave could come over to here, and we could have a C wave down here. But it has already pulled back to the 61.8%, so that should be sweet. Anyway, going long on 103 would be the safe trade, or, you know, taking the top out here and all that sort of stuff. I won't do that because we're not really kind of trading it as such. Most people trade stock off the back of this, but yeah, I mean, if you're going to trade these things, do it with futures contracts as well, so there's no overnight financing costs from those bucket shops. Yeah, okay, so that's what we're looking at for copper. Let's have a look at gas on another thing. So this is gas here. Let's just go to the daily chart first. Let me just get this charting program in the window a little bit here. Don't need all of that guff. So this is the bigger picture here. We're looking at a pretty easy kind of stock standard count here as 1 and 2 here. And we're going up for wave 3 here. That'll take us up to $8. So $8 is the next target. If it goes to 8, it will probably go to 10. So yeah, I don't need all of that waffle. So we're looking at, well, it's pulled back. If we consider that the top there, wave 3, we can consider that wave 4. This wave 4 looks good too because it's 60% bigger than the previous correction. I mean, everything is growing through time and space. That's why we use the price here as a Fibonacci ratio, because it helps lock it in. It helps frame it up. It's not perfect and so on, but it helps frame it. But it's just good to get that right look and feel and perspective. We've pulled back to here, and I think we've been looking at this on the hourly chart, maybe. Okay, so I haven't got wave 3 top up here, but it was interesting because the first move down through here was in 3 waves. So we know that, and then we had the correction here coming back, taking this top out. So we know that this first move here was, after we got this one here, we know that the whole move down is corrective and not bearish. And then we just look for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here, called the low in here. Now looking at this as wave 1, we're working this yesterday. We've got a nice ABC for wave 2 here. So we can start working it higher at this point. How that plays out, we'll just see what sort of, I mean, we'll look for an impulsive structure. So basically, yeah, I mean, probably a little bit late, but I'll just put that across there. That would be the long trade at that point with the stop under wave 2, if you wanted to play it tight. Do you know what I mean? But apart from that, I mean, of course, this correction as a wave 4 could get bigger and uglier, but we don't know that until we start to see here. If I get too confused in here, then we know that we're doomed, and we'll be going into a bigger correction. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how we go with it. There'll be steps along the way. So the first thing here from $5 is you want to be looking at 10, 20, and 30 for group 1, and then the midpoint. So what we want here next is we want the 530 as a tested support. And that takes us to the 50. And once we get that as support, then we can move up to the next levels, which will be, well, group 2, which will be $5.80, $5.72, and $5.65. So you put those levels in and watch the market work around them. That's that. So that's all of the commodities. So that means that if I just, before I go, we've been looking at WPL. There it goes. Yes, beautiful. So we've been looking for that. There might be a bit more to go here for that. But you could buy this back here. I've just got it up here. But if I clone that and drop that, I think this has got one being a stock and being Thursday in a bullish market. We'll probably see this. Oh, the low could be in, but it'll be so. Anyway, she's going. Just trying to find the best way in for this. An A wave, ABC for the B wave. So that 24. If you could buy it at $24, that would be fantastic. Or 24.30, 24.30. Where's that? Nah, it's too high. 24.20. I'll just leave it to you. I'll just see how it goes. But it does look like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. One more little drop down. So I would buy the low today anywhere above $4, $24. You know, $24 to $24.20 in that space, if you wanted to, as a half position. And the same with Santos as well. See, Santos fell out of bed. Yeah, so with Santos, we'll just take this one and here. So this has been a really interesting exercise, hasn't it? Because as we moved up here, I don't know where we were in here, to be honest, I can't remember, but I said that you can buy in here if you wanted to, but we will go up and have a top and then we'll roll over. How far we'll roll down, I'm not quite sure, never do. This level here is on 30. I'm just going to bring it down to the 20. And if you wanted to buy, the reason, you know, I don't normally buy the dips without any sort of evidence, but the reason that I would do it here is because I know with natural gas is that we have this ABC here and confirmed as corrective by a move back above here. So I know that we're not in a bear market. So I know that I know that these guys will be pushing higher. Okay, so apart from that, we're going to move on. We're going to have a look at the dollar index, which obviously has influence over, you know, the cost of commodities. So okay, well, this is interesting. So what we looked at yesterday. I was thinking that there's another push to the upside here. So we've got wave 3 here with wave 4 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 coming up here for wave 3. Now you could easily look at that as corrective because this wave 4 here is overlap wave 1, and you could look at that as an ABC for the A wave, the B wave and the C wave. So this would make an A wave, a B wave and a C wave to that particular point, having 5 waves here, but we've got this extra move here and then we've got to move down. So we talked about having wave 3 top in here and then looking at this as the A wave here, the B wave here and the C wave coming down here. So that's what we've done. I'll just get rid of some of this and this here for a moment. So we're looking for a rally back up into that box. So we've got that. You can go long from that point there now. This is, you know, it looks here like we've got this as down for 1, back for 2 and down for 3 here and then going back for 4. But the trouble with going back for 4 here, it's okay as a 4th wave because it hasn't really overlapped wave 1 here, but it has rallied very high for a wave 4. So if we go past this wave 4 here, maybe we should allow it to have one more little low in here for that, because it just looks like all of the third wave in there. And I don't want to go in and pull it out at the moment, but what we've got time for this. So what we could do is that, because even if, let's just say for a moment that, let's say for the moment that the market moves down here, right, takes that low out there, all it's going to do is it's going to, let me get rid of that for a second. Let's just get familiar with this. Even if it comes down here and touches on the low, then it comes back, because it will come back, because that looks like 5 waves coming down here as well. So it will come back for a rally, hit that low there roughly, and then if it breaks it at that point again, then we'll be bearish at that point. Okay, but otherwise it can make a low here and make a move back up at that point. So we just need to be a little bit careful here. But there's a good chance, you know, if we can get a clean break here somewhere, if we can get a clean break, then we'll be bearish on the US dollar. So it's kind of splitting hairs a little bit here, but I have to say, when we look at the Australian dollar, which we've been looking at all week and so on, so we're thinking that just on the daily chart here, we can look at this as the A, the B and the C, and that's the low in place. You know, we could look at this as wave 1, or we can look at it as an A wave and a B wave and a C wave up here. So as you probably know, if you've been following this, we've been counting 5 waves up here. When we get our 5 waves up here, then that means after 5 waves we get a correction, a 3-wave correction. If we go above the B wave at that point, well, then we can be bullish and we'll go above the 80. Double tops are never the end of the trend, so it will be going higher at that point, probably up to 83 or 85 or something. And yeah, but otherwise it could also just, once this 5 waves is finished here, then it could also pull back down here again as well, and the US dollar pushes higher. So that's what we've got to figure out. So what we've been doing on the daily chart, we're just tracking those 5 waves there. So let's just get an update on that. So it's this 5 waves we've been looking at. So I just need to adjust a few things here. So we've got our 5th wave in. We'd seen that starting off here the other day, and looking quite powerful as a 5th wave, I must say. It's like extending quite nicely, but that's wave 1 and 2 here, and probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 3rd, 4th here. I'm just guessing at this point. And the 5th wave here, and that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we'll push up here somewhere, right? And then we'll get this pullback in here somewhere. I don't know how this will play out here. That means the US dollar's got to be flickering around as well. And then down for the C wave and then up. So that we can go long above this B wave here. That's what we've been looking at. Obviously we've been adjusting this, and we'll keep adjusting it and keep bringing it into line. And I should have a closer look at this here, but we're still not ready, even though it's, you know, even though it's pushing up. You know, that's not a surprise. You know, we've been tracking that, but what we're trying to do in the bigger picture is to confirm that we're going to 80 cents, so to speak. You know, so we need some classic. Will it be as big as this here, the classic trading levels pattern? I don't know. And it hasn't really reacted from here as well, so we'll need to be careful about that. And what sort of highlighted me at the moment, is the fact that this fifth wave is really quite like chunky, you know, it's quite big. So I'm wondering if I need to and I've been conservative and gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the first 5 waves I can get my fingers onto, you know. But we also always need to be mindful that this could be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. Do you know what I mean? Like build a bigger thing building to the upside. But that doesn't matter too much, because what we'll do is next time we'll pull this apart a bit more, have a look at it on a tick chart, and once we've got that in here, it doesn't really matter. We'll just go long above that top. Because if we get 5 waves here and then this just pushes straight up through here, we have to be long at that point, because we've gone through the basic 5 waves and we know that, okay, well, we've got this, you know, we've only just seen the head of the snake, so to speak, you know. So yeah. Should say iceberg. Yeah, so I'm just trying to think outside. I'm just thinking outside the box, you know what I mean? So, okay, look, we're on track. Let's just stay. Let's just let this top out and see how we go with it. Yes, it just needs to fall into place now. Okay, so that's that, and now we need to look at stocks. So, US BHP, there is a good case for US BHP and Australian BHP that we're getting 5 waves up off the low here. So that's just fantastic. And I'm seeing a bit of volume from here. We're seeing buyers come in here, not a lot though, but some purchasing here on the low and short covering, I guess. Didn't really finish off here the way I liked it, but I just have to suck that up now because that's what's happening. So yeah, it looks bullish. Just going to the tick chart. I mean, I could see I could see that we could count this up as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here or here, but there's stuff in here that I don't know just yet. There's other ways to count this as well. We can go wave 1 and 2 here and 1 and 2 here, which I was looking at BHP, then 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, because this looks corrective at this point. It looks like it wants to, continue to move to the upside at this point. So it is looking bullish, and this will be the next time that we'll take another position there, and we can move the stop up closer to break even on this first position here. And then we'll also look to add on top of the 60 over here, we'll get some type of correction here that we'll use to go long on. And then much the same with the Aussie BHP as well. So just working it off the low here for this. We've got a few positions in here and yada, yada, yada. But we do need that iron ore to push up. That's what we're looking for. Where am I going here? Tick chart here. Do I need to bring any data in? A little bit will do good. Would be good. Do good. Yeah, so, yeah, dodgy wave 1 and 2's good. 3 I'm happy with. 4 I'm happy with. And wave 5 here will be 1 and 2 and 3 and... Oops, no, we need that one over there. But still, that should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here. It's the third wave, maybe an ABC. I don't know. I'm not quite sure if we should... I don't know how to call that in. It's just... it's too many gaps and stuff. But what we can do here now... we've already got positions here, but if you don't have a position in here, then we can go long above there. I'll try and get a better position. If it drops back here, we'll pick it up back in this space, But we just need to be a bit careful here. Don't overload here too much. We'll build on top of 40 here again as well. I don't want to move the stop up here because of that gap there. I know BHP doesn't cover its gaps, but I just want to stay out of the way here because I don't fully grasp the count. It looks okay as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So even with that in mind, the market can pull back to the 61.8%, and that's what we've got to keep out of, and that's in here. I mean, obviously BHP's traded, in South Africa and Frankfurt and London and US. I don't know if it's traded anymore. I don't know. Can't keep up. Anyway, looking okay, looking good, doing all the right things at the right time. Good little motto to have if you get emotional about things. Take the next logical step. That was the affirmation that I used for myself when I was learning. Instead of taking an emotional decision, I'd say, what's the next logical step? And then I'd focus on that. Okay, so FMG and Rio, they'll be suffering because they're just iron ore. So FMG working off the low here, calling this the low in here based on the previous wave 4 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 got to be the low. Wave 1, wave 2 came really close here. We've got half a position here. We want to build another position just under the 15 here. It means that we're looking for 5 waves up, and then an A and a B and a C. This here could also be the C wave here. This could be counted differently through here, and this could be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave where that little A wave is. But otherwise, what we'll do is we'll catch it up there. It does look impulsive to the downside, so we do need to be careful here. This could be construed as impulsive, coming back as an ABC pattern here as well. So there's a few things here. We've got to get on top of the 15 to be safe and secure and a move up. The opportunities below this level, but so is the risk. If we do get, this looks like a bit impulsive, but if we do get a B wave here, then we can later on bring that down to this level to move into again as well. Just got to do that safe. And Rio, wherever Rio is here, also struggling at the bottom here as well. I don't have an impulse wave up here. It's really, it's very high risk. Don't have enough 5 waves to finish this off here as well. This could certainly be a wave 4 rally. It's just that it's a bit high for a wave 4 rally. I'd have to take it from that high to that low. So we're up at the 50%, if not higher. Is there a big difference between 40% and 50%? I don't know. I've seen wave 4s go that high before, nothing new. I don't have 5 waves off the low here. I do have 5 waves here, which would give us another one over here. And I thought that may build. So this is valid until this low here is breached, but we could take it to this low if you wanted to tighten it up a little bit further. But otherwise, we'll just sort of hold here. Let's see how iron ore builds itself off those current lows, but iron ore's not looking that bullish either. Alrighty, I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.